Hey guys, Shane with Dazzy Integrations. On today's edition of Give It To Me Straight, I'm going to step back just a little bit, and instead of speaking in specifics when it comes to technology, I'm going to speak in more general terms and base that upon some of the observations I've made over the last few months, being out in the community, meeting with business leaders and owners and management, and just talking about their operations. Generally speaking, over the last couple of months, I've noticed that most organizations fall within two camps. Either one, they take full advantage of technology and see the value that it can bring to their organization and fully embrace it, or they're kind of the second camp that looks at technology as sort of a necessary evil. Those organizations are spending the least amount of money they can on technology to keep their budgets low and really just don't buy into the inherent value that you can achieve through technology. A couple of specific examples that stick out in my head. First, on the ones that really buy into technology, these were actually schools. And when we meet with schools, we meet with schools all over the place. And they can be really big schools or really small schools and have budgets that vary accordingly as well. These two particular schools weren't the largest schools we've met with, and they weren't the smallest. But one of the things that stuck out on the first one that we met with is the way that they're looking at technology and thinking outside the box on how to leverage it. So instead of looking at technology in the traditional ways of making sure you have internet access and email, they're looking at how can they take advantage of applications. So in their environment, all of their students have full-blown tablets, and they have the ability to install an app that specific in terms of the music department. They have an app that allows their students, when they receive an assignment that includes learning a new piece of music, they can go home and within the app they can click on play and the application actually plays that sheet of music for them so that they hear what it sounds like. The students can hear how they're supposed to mimic that back. Then the flip side of that is the student can hit record on the app and play their instrument according to the sheet music, and it grades them on how they're doing. In addition, it allows them to track that progress. So you can see when you started out the first part of the month versus the end of the month how much progress you've made in learning and playing that music correctly. And probably, one of the most important things, it allows them to turn that in as homework to their instructor. So instead of just saying, yeah, I practiced my instrument last night, now they have to turn in homework that grades them and that their instructors see how they're doing and progressing. Truly would have been a big problem for me when I was in high school if this was around. The other school that we met with, it was about similar size, but they were wanting to be one of the leading schools in the state for preparing students for the technology field. They saw that there's a huge gap in skilled workers when it comes to technology, and they wanted to make sure that they went a step beyond what's required. They're looking at technology as the next really jobs void that their students could step in and fill, and if they better prepare those students than any other schools, their school is going to have a huge advantage. And so they're building their curriculum, their infrastructure, and their process completely around making sure that their school is kind of the shining beacon when it comes to technology. And both of these schools, one of the things I noticed is as soon as you walk in the door, the environment itself is dramatically different. The buildings are brighter, the people that work there are happier, they're smiling. It is just amazing when you walk into these facilities. You can almost tell when you walk in the door whether they value technology based upon what their working environment is. Conversely, we met with some private businesses, and some of those, especially when it comes to private business, a lot of times we get the answer that, we really, when it comes to technology, don't want to spend a whole lot of money on it. We spend what we have to when something breaks, but outside of that, our take is, we just don't want to invest in it. One specific business that we met with, to this point, as soon as we sat down, the management said, our owner does not buy into technology at all. In fact, he hates technology. So until we have a change of ownership, we don't see that ever changing. And so there's really not a lot that we could probably sit down and talk about. That environment, when you walk in the door, you could tell as soon as you walked in the door, that's probably the case. The environment itself was dark. The folks seemed to be kind of just working their way through the day to hit the quitting time. So, dramatically different working environments based upon how they leverage and use technology. Does that mean technology enables that? No. It just means that the owners and management buy into the value of increasing, the utilization and leverage of technology, and that improves the working environment. Does that mean that if you have a limited budget, you can't have a great working environment? Absolutely not. It just means that those organizations that look at technology and look beyond the normal operations on how they can improve things typically are the ones that are building and growing and doing better. So the key takeaway that I have for that is, really take a look at your operations, take a look at your business, take a look at your organization. See, are there bottlenecks? Are there things that you could be doing and leveraging technology that you may not even be thinking of right now? And quiz your employees and staff. See what their feedback is. See what their take on technology is and how you're leveraging it. Chances are you'll find some great ideas that can improve your overall operations. So if you have questions, this is an area that we love to sit down and talk about. Even if we never do business with you, we just love talking about how you can leverage technology and grow your organization. So certainly reach out and let us know if we can help in that regards. We appreciate you tuning in, and we'll catch you the next time on Give It To